Pull your foot out. Come on.
Luann, you know what?
Sit still, miss. Don't you do one single thing. We'll take that, too.
No. Oh,
Are you looking for someone? Well?
No, sir. Nobody.
Judd, for the defense.
Thanks for rushing this through for me, Miss Davis. You saved me half an hour.
No trouble at all, Mr. Judd. Where are you bound for this time? That murder case in New York?
Where'd you hear about that?
Well, it's news. Everything you do is news.
As a matter of fact, no. I'm taking a couple of days off up in the mountains. My associate and I are going trout fishing.
Oh.
That is, if I can find my associate. We were supposed to meet right here outside Part 1.
Outside or inside? Do you have a client here?
No, we don't. Excuse me, Miss Davis.
Miss Bender, do you understand the charge against you? You know you have the right to an attorney.
Interesting.
Oh, Clint.
Lawyer.
Yeah, take a look.
Do you have a lawyer?
All I want to look at is a trout string.
But it's wild.
You know a lawyer.
She's charged with burglary and assault with a deadly weapon.
In that case, I'll have to appoint one for you.
Sorry, Your Honor.
It's quite all right. Mr. Judd, I presume you and your colleague have no place else to confer?
Sorry, Your Honor.
Mr. Judd, would you and your associate please approach the bench? Miss Bender here has no counsel. It occurs to me that as long as you're in
Your
court...
Honor, Mr. Judd was just leaving.
If I may have a few minutes with my client.
Be my guest, Mr. Judd.
I didn't do it, that's all. I just didn't do it.
Miss Bender, according to police report, the stolen jewelry was found right next to you.
Well, I didn't put it there.
Your fingerprints were on the revolver.
I don't know anything about that.
The owner of the shop said you first wounded him in the dark inside the shop, and then when he came out after you, knocked him unconscious. Now, how is that...
I wouldn't do any such a thing.
If you didn't, who did? Look, Luann, we're not the police. Anything you tell us is privileged.
What does that mean?
Well, that means that it's a secret between us. It won't be told in court if you don't want it to be. Now, you say you didn't do it, so someone else must have done it. Are you married, Luann? Well, you were clutching a wedding ring in your hand.
Look, I didn't do it. That's my binding word. I swear it. Can't you go in there and say that for me? You're my lawyer. Just say I didn't do it.
Are you hungry, Luann?
Oh, Mr. Judd, I do believe that I haven't had a thing to eat since all this here started. I mean, they gave me breakfast in jail, but I just couldn't eat it.
All right, we'll plead you not guilty.
Does that mean I get to go?
Well, it's just not that simple. You'll have to stand trial. But you won't have to wait in jail. I'm sure bail can be arranged. We might even have you out of here in time for lunch.
I do thank you kindly. I'd like that. Enjoy your lunch.
Thank you.
What's Mr. Judd doing? I thought he was coming with us.
Oh, he'll be here in a minute. He had to make a few phone calls. We don't have to wait for him, Luann.
Well, if you're sure you don't mind, I mean, I know it ain't polite. Boy, I never saw so many things to eat. This sure is a nice place.
Yes, it's very nice.
That lady who showed us in, I mean, she was real nice. Well, the table's clean and everything's clean. Mr. Caldwell, if you don't mind, I'd like to tidy up a bit. I won't be but a little minute.
Remember, Luann, you're out on bail. That means you can't run away.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. With all these good things to eat.
Here, Luann.
Merle, honey, I've been so worried. Are you all right?
I'm all right. So are you, I can see that. You got yourself another fella, huh?
A new fellow, Merle. That's nothing but an old lawyer.
Did you tell him about me?
Of course not. You believe I'd do any such a thing?
Well, didn't he even ask, was there anybody with you at the jewelry store?
Yeah, yes, but I said there wasn't.
It's my girl. My loving girl. Now, Luann, you listen. You got to keep on saying that. And you know why? You stop bobbing your head like a horse. You don't know why.
Okay, Merle, why?
Because they're after me for something else is why. Something they say I did, but that was way back before I met you.
Was it bad?
It's bad enough if they catch me. Luann, that's why I had to leave you when you got your ankle caught. You believe me, Luann? Luann, believe ain't nothing in this world I wouldn't give to get you out of this. But I just can't let them take me. On account of that other charge.
I do believe you, Merle.
So, you got to take this fall by yourself. You understand?
Well, do I have to go to jail?
It won't be for long. It's the first time for you. No record, and you're a woman, and... Luann, never go easy on a woman.
But when I see you again? When I see you, Merle?
It depends on you.
Just tell me what to do.
Don't say one word about me. No time at all, you'll be out of jail. And we'll get together. Luann, You get me caught, send me up for life, and you'll never see me again.
Luann Bender, you have been found guilty of burglary, assault, and assault with a deadly weapon. The court is aware of the special circumstance recently made known. I therefore sentence you to be confined in women's prison for a term of not less than 5 years and not more than 15.
Come on, not now. Come on. Come on, leave her alone, will you?
I don't mind for a fact. Jail's not bad. Regular place to sleep every night.
Luann, why don't you tell us now who it really was you're covering for someone?
A roof that don't never leak. I don't mind a bit.
Well, you may change your mind in a few months. If you do, let me know.
Mr. Judd, you've been real good to me. I do thank you kindly.
What was that, about a few months? Does it have anything to do with those mysterious special circumstances?
Results of a second physical just made known this morning. She's 3 months pregnant.
Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird don't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. And if that diamond ring turns brass, Mama's gonna buy you a looking glass. And if that looking glass gets
How'd it go, Bender?
It ain't time yet.
It's more than time. I gave you an extra 10 minutes.
Oh, you're lying. You know that. He ain't even finished his bottle yet.
Come on.
Least you can do is let him finish. You're the best boy. You were the best boy this side of the Smoky Mountains. He's hungry. He ain't finished yet.
Oh, Bender, why do you always have to make it so difficult? You know the prison rules. You're allowed to feed him and play with him, yes, but you can't have him here all day and all night.
Ain't fair. He's my baby.
You better get over it.
What does that mean? You all keep saying that to me. What does it mean?
Bender, you know what it means. They told you before you were delivered.
Told what?
You actually don't realize it. Well, the normal procedure in a prison maternity case is to place the child with foster parents.
Why can't I take care of him right here?
As soon as feasible. Then, after the prisoner's release, there's a hearing. In your case, an unwed mother with a criminal record, well, there's a very good chance to put the baby up for adoption.
My baby's mine. You can't just take him and give him to somebody else.
Face it, Bender, they can.
I'm not a criminal. I didn't do nothing. It wasn't me that robbed that store. It was...
Merrill Williams. Are you sure that's his right name, Luann?
Oh, yes, indeed, Mr. Judd. At least I sure do hope that's his right name after I went and gave it to my baby. That's my baby's name, you know. Merle?
Have you heard from Williams since your arrest?
No, sir. Never once, but that's because Merle ain't much for writing, is all. I'm not much for writing either. Like, well, that letter I sent you, well, I didn't write it. I told it to one of the matrons, and she put it down.
How long were you living together?
2 years.
How did you manage?
Oh, good, Mr. Judd. We managed real good. You see, I never had anybody till Merle, and no close kinfolk, no friends. We got acquainted in Knoxville, and then we went all over the country together, just the two of us. You don't know what it was like, Mr. Judd. I mean, sometimes he was real mean. But I didn't mind because that was just his nature. The whole thing was to have somebody, to wake up in the morning and there he is.
No, I mean, how did you manage to live? Where did the money come from?
Well, mostly I left that to Merle.
And mostly Merle went in for burglary.
I guess.
Now, Luann, you knew that was wrong.
Well, I just sat in the car.
Which would be a stolen car.
I thought Merle was getting them on credit.
What did you think when Merle broke into Armand's jewelry store in the middle of the night?
Mr. Judd, I loved him.
That is no defense.
Are you saying I'll get out of jail no matter what?
Well, you'll get out a lot sooner if we can prove that you were only an accomplice to burglary instead of a principal in assault with a deadly weapon. Now, let's go with the whole truth.
All right. I knew he was doing wrong. But in the window, well, there was his wedding ring. That's what I cared about. And Merle, he saw this watch all shiny with diamonds, and that's what he cared about. Oh, sure does like watches.
He sure does like himself, too, considering the fact that he hasn't come forward to help you.
Oh, he couldn't do that, no, sir. Because with Merle, it wouldn't be just for a few years, like with me. With Merle, it would be for life.
Are you saying he was wanted for another crime? What crime? Did he tell you?
All I know is it wasn't me that robbed that store and shot that man. It was Merle. You find him, he'll say so. Now, would you please find him, Mr. Judd? And you explain to Merle that before I had my baby, I didn't dream what it would be like. I held him in my arms. Well, I just have to keep him. You explain that to Merle. He'll tell you what the truth.
Will he? How do you know he will?
Because I know he loves me.
So, I dragged myself out, and there she was. And I tried to grab her. And bam, she hit me with something. It must have been the gun.
Mr. Armand, are you sure it wasn't a man who hit you?
What man? The only one was the Amazon.
What Amazon?
So she doesn't look like it. So what? A bullet here, a knock there, that's an Amazon.
Mr. Armand, you indicate the back of your head. How could she strike you there if she was standing in front of you?
How do I know? It was dark. And whatever I know, I have already told the judge and jury, haven't I? But I will tell you one thing. All my stuff, it hasn't been recovered yet. Some of it disappeared down that storm drain. I'm still fighting with my insurance company. Well, if you'll excuse me, I can't afford to neglect my business.
Huh? Who do you believe? Or should I say whom?
You shouldn't even ask. The benefit of any doubt must be given to the client.
That's a neat way of getting around grammar.
Ben, look, I've got a meeting in San Francisco that'll probably go into the weekend, so it'll be up to you to start looking for Williams. I suggest Washington.
Thank you much. Sure, you'll be having a drink at the top of the mark, and I'll be digging at the bottom of a pile of mugshots. Working confidently on the basis of nothing.
You've got his name to go on.
Merle Williams? How do we know it isn't a phony?
Well, Williams could be a phony, certainly. But Merle?
There he is. This is my Merle. How'd you get his picture?
Look for men with the name of Merle. Roughly fitting your description, wanted for major crimes around the time that you met him.
Luann, are you sure that's the man? Read his name.
Oh, Merle? Oh, Varney. Merle Varney. Well, he told me his name was Williams, but what if it is Varney? It's still him.
Should have done better picking any of the others.
Why'd you say that?
And Clint, this is Friday, which means that any and all legal action we can take, we can't take till Monday.
There's lots of days come after Monday.
Not for Merle Varney.
Luann, he was wanted for murder. When you met him, he'd been tried, convicted, and turned down on 3 appeals. He was on his way to death row when he escaped. Now they've taken him back to death row.
What does that mean?
Means his execution is set for Tuesday morning.
people seem to think just because a man is going to die anyway that he might as well confess to everybody else's crimes.
Warden McDonald, I wouldn't be here if I didn't have good reason to believe that an innocent girl is serving time for what Barney did.
Yeah, Mr. Judd, you can say that. I'm well aware of your reputation.
Well, if you're implying that I fight for my clients, I do.
So do I. Open it up for us, will you, please? You know, usually the fight is to rehabilitate a man and send him back to society. However, society doesn't think that anybody on death row is a man, not even a human being. Not even a thing, just get it buried. You know, I happen to think he's still a man. For those few precious moments that his life is in my custody, I don't want him badgered, not even 5 minutes.
Look, Warden, you can force me to get a court order to see Barney, but this is Sunday, and if I can't get it in time, do you want that on your conscience?
No. No, not on Sunday.
Earl Barney? I'm Clinton Judd.
I know who you are.
Oh, really? How do you know?
Well, we talk about lawyers in here. You know, guys who could have got us off if only... You know.
Hmm.
Hey, you're top man, Mr. Judd.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, I don't know how that character lawyer man ever got you on my case. Let's skip that. Can you do anything for me?
No, Mr. Barney. I couldn't even if I knew how. I'm here on behalf of Lou Ann Bender. The warden is allowing me exactly 5 minutes. Couldn't you give just that much time to Lou Ann Bender?
Keep looking for my watch. Best looking watch I ever saw in my whole life. And they tried to con me, them diamonds weren't real, huh? Sure. So they grabbed it off me so fast.
You know Lou Ann Bender?
Oh, what difference does it make?
There's something you could do for her.
Yeah, what'd she ever do for me?
She had your baby.
What baby?
Take a look, Mr. Barney. No harm in looking.
Who says it's mine?
Lou Ann's month-old baby. Who else could be the father? She named him Merle. Your son, born in prison, going to be taken from his mother pretty soon. Given to strangers to raise. Is that what you want for your son, Merle?
Well, what can I do about it?
You can tell the truth. If it was you who robbed that store or shot that jeweler, if all Lou Ann did was sit in the car, there's every chance in the world that we can get her conviction reversed.
And I'll get out of it like what?
I don't know you well enough to answer that. But if you're at all like most men, I should think that you'd consider Lou Ann to be your wife. And that you'd get a world of satisfaction out of doing this for her.
Yeah. That ain't enough.
What more do you want?
I want my watch. I want my diamond watch.
Are you serious?
Am I serious? Oh, man. Oh, man. The Lou Ann's a stupid one, not me. But I don't need no watch. I got one taken inside my head. And all it says is Tuesday morning.
What do you want, Merle?
What the hell do you think I want? I want to live.
I won't lie to you at a time like this, Merle. There's nothing I can do about your sentence.
You can't? You sure of that, Mr. Well,
Can't blame a man for trying, can you? Let's see that photo. Luann Bender. I never saw her in my life.
But of course I recall the case, Mr. Judd. In fact, I also recall how I hooked you into it.
Your Honor, I'm still hooked.
Yes, so I gather from your brief. Give me a little time and I'll work you into my schedule. I'm very heavy today.
Your Honor, if you'll read my brief concerning one Merle Varney, you'll see that time is what I don't have.
Bailiff.
Yes, Your Honor.
See if Mr. Clear is in the courthouse somewhere. He should be in part 2 or part 3.
Mayor, please, my point. Weren't we indicted?
I'll listen to Mr. Judd first. Go ahead, Mr. Judd.
Your Honor, we're petitioning for a hearing to set aside the conviction of Luann Bender.
Grounds?
The shooting and the robbery appear to have been committed by her common-law husband, Merle Varney.
Evidence?
We're developing new evidence, Your Honor. My associate, Ben Caldwell.
Ah, yes, I remember him very well.
Well, he's working on it now.
All right. If and when he can come up with anything material...
Your Honor, even if this evidence comes up to our highest expectations, it would not be conclusive without the testimony of Merle Varney.
Well,
I remind the court that Varney is due to die tomorrow morning.
Are you suggesting that I bring this man here? This convicted killer who once before escaped custody? On the strength of your expectations?
Yes, sir.
No, sir. Petition denied until such time you can assure me that you have proper evidence.
And if it comes too late? If Varney is dead by then? How is this court going to clear an innocent girl?
Mr. Judd. Mr. Judd. Nobody gives the court problems like you do. All right. I'll listen to your case at the drop of a hat, but you must have the hat to drop.
And will the court agree to hold the hearing whenever and wherever possible in view of Varney's execution?
You mean will I set up court in state prison?
I may have to ask you to.
And it'll serve me right for getting myself involved with Clinton Judd. Mr. Cleary, come up here, please, to the bench. Mr. Judd, this is Mr. Cleary from the Public Defender's Office. He's Varney's lawyer.
How do you do?
Mr. Judd, I know what you're doing here. I had a call from Warden McDonald. As a matter of fact, I asked to be told the minute you stepped into this courtroom. Your Honor, could we have a few minutes?
No problem. I have plenty of other cases to hear.
Come on, I'll buy you a drink. No, you buy me a drink. You can afford it better. Come on.
Next case.
I'm opposed to this hearing. And in the name of common humanity, I ask you not to press it.
Why?
Because it would wreck my client's appeal.
Mr. Cleary, your client has already had his last appeal. He's been turned down by the Supreme Court.
I'm appealing to the governor for clemency, commutation of sentence. Governor hasn't turned him down yet.
What's your case, Mr. Cleary?
My case is, during the years that Varney was at large, he's become a changed man, entirely law-abiding.
That's what you're telling the governor.
That's what my client told me. I have no evidence of the contrary.
But it isn't true.
Has Varney admitted to you that he committed any crimes?
No.
Can you prove that he did?
Not at the moment.
Then drop this matter, Mr. Judd. It's the only chance my client has.
It also happens to be my client's only chance.
But what a difference between them. All your client faces is a couple of years in jail. But with Varney, it's life or death. Now you tell me, which is more important?
You fight pretty hard, too.
You surprised? Is the practice of law just a matter of a fee?
You know what my fee is in this case?
Of course I know. That's why I'm asking you to place yourself in my position.
Mr. Cleary, I'm not in your position. My obligation is to my client, not to yours. This hearing will be completely in her interest. And if I can get the judge to hold it, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
anywhere for now, Mr. Caldwell. Judge will tell you where he wants you.
I didn't sleep a whole lot last night. Whenever I closed my eyes, I had awful dreams. Is that the right time?
Don't worry about the time.
What time are they going to kill Merle?
Luann, keep your mind on your own problems. The details of the robbery. Now, you may be questioned.
What time? I asked you.
10 a.m.
What? You got it?
Got it.
Miss Proctor, I want every word recorded. This is a legal hearing. And what a place for it.
There's ample precedent for a judge holding court in places other than a courtroom.
Precedent, yes. Ample, I don't know. But that's all right. Mac, away. It's all yours, Herb. Court is in session. Everyone be seated, please.
May it please the court, I object in the strongest possible terms to this entire proceeding.
Mr. Cleary, you know very well that Mr. Judd has every legal right to reopen his case. However, it may affect your client.
Well, it may affect him completely, Your Honor. I've just been on the phone to the governor. Now, he didn't say this, of course, in so many words, but I got the idea he may base his decision regarding my client on what comes out of this hearing.
In view of that, Mr. Judd, do you still want to go ahead?
If it's anything's going to hurt Merle, let's don't do it.
And let's not be your own lawyer, Luann.
Mr. Judd?
Your Honor, I have no choice. Yes? That's all right. Barney's waiting outside. You want me to bring him in now?
Your Honor, exactly what is our position if my client refuses to answer questions?
Hmm. Well, what do you propose we do, Mr. Judd? Threaten him with contempt of court?
I propose simply that we give Mr. Barney a chance to answer voluntarily.
So we're going to be treated to another one of your famous tactics, Mr. Judd. What you really want is to get that man in the same room with this girl and let her break him down.
My client is alleging that Barney committed the crime for which she is imprisoned. If he won't testify, her allegation goes unchallenged.
And reported to the governor.
You said it, I didn't.
All right. All right, he can answer questions if he wants to.
All right, Mac.
Merle, sit over here.
I'm going to dispense with normal procedure since this is a hearing, not a trial. Mr. Judd, the burden is on you.
Mr. Barney, you know a young lady named Luann Bender?
No.
She's right here facing you. Will you look at her, please? Still don't know her?
No.
Then, of course, you're not the father of her child. But didn't you, on one occasion, drive with her to the alley behind Armand's jewelry store?
No.
And leave her in a car while you entered the store and gathered up rings, watches, and other articles?
Objection, Your Honor. The question's been answered.
Sustained?
All right. Without reference to Luann Bender, didn't you rob that jewelry store of rings and other articles?
No.
How about watches? How about a particular watch, Mr. Barney? A man's watch with 12 diamonds marking the hours. Didn't you take such a watch?
No.
Your Honor, we have here the new evidence which I mentioned in my petition for this hearing. I'll begin with the list of stolen articles presented by the prosecution at the trial of Luann Bender.
From the trial record?
You accepted it then, Your Honor.
I accept it now.
While some of the articles were recovered, some were not.
If I recall correctly, someone lost down a storm drain?
presumed to be lost, Your Honor, but one of the lost articles was, in fact, not lost.
One man's watch, gold-filled, serial number 326483130. On the face of the watch, 12 simulated diamonds, marking the hours. Value, $37.
We have that watch, Your Honor.
Where'd you get it?
From the property clerk at this prison. It was among the personal effects taken from Merle Varney. Now, Your Honor, I'm sure if this had been a very valuable watch, it would have been turned over to the police to be traced. But a cheap watch was probably considered not worth the bother.
Well, now, Your Honor, what does it prove? Assuming that the watch was stolen and that it was found subsequently on my client, can Mr. Judd prove that it was my client who actually stole it?
No, sir, I can't prove it. Certainly not in the time between now and 10 o'clock in the morning. I can only ask you, Merle, to look again at Luann and think what this means to her. And not only to her, but to your son.
No! Shh! Don't touch me, I said no. I don't want any more of this. It's all for me, isn't it?
Luann, it is for your baby.
My baby isn't here. All that's here is him. And I can't let anybody do him any harm.
Merle, will you tell the court how you came into possession of this watch?
I bought it off a man. Now you go prove I didn't.
Well, Your Honor, I take it there's nothing more, and that we can leave. I've been camping on the governor's doorstep. I would like to get back there.
Mr. Judd, any further questions? This hearing is adjourned.
In all fairness, the governor should be informed that there's nothing legal accomplished here.
I can suggest one possible accomplishment. Oh, nothing legal, Mr. Cleary. Just a matter of human values we might pay last respects to by letting your client and my client be alone for a few minutes.
Oh, no, you don't.
Well, why not? There are bars on the windows. We all know what this man and this woman were to each other. Why can't we let them say one last decent goodbye?
Judge Montez, are you going to let him pull out all the stops?
You claim that your client is a changed man. He's not a criminal anymore. Now, what harm can this do?
It's not up to me. The hearing is over. It's up to Ward McDonald.
Merle? Do you want to be alone with her for a few minutes?
Well,
sure. Why not? Gentlemen.
You don't even know me.
Look, I had to say that. I couldn't say anything different with all those people around.
I don't hear you saying different now that they ain't around.
Well, it's 'cause this place could be bugged.
What's that mean?
What does that mean? Well, man, I could explain to you all the things that you don't know what they mean if it took me from now to into my natural-born days. Right around now, isn't it?
Dad, please don't go. Do anything, say anything. I don't care what happens to me. Don't make no difference.
Hey, what about the baby?
Him neither.
Hey, that is supposed to be my kid that you don't care about.
I'm first.
Listen, man, I want to tell you something. Huh? You know, if I did know you, I sure know a mighty pretty girl.
Amen.
And I would say that
kid of mine, he had you for his mother. That kid sure would do all right for himself. You know what I mean? You quit bobbing the head like a horse. Oh, Luann! Look, you don't know what I mean.
Okay, Merle. What?
Just like that time. Back there when you got your ankle caught and I had to leave you. And Luann, now I'm gonna have to leave you in prison. Because that is the only chance that I have to live. Oh, it may not be too much of a laugh, even if that governor, he does decide to commute my sentence. And maybe ain't too much chance he will. Maybe I can't help you. I just can't. Believe me, Luann.
I do believe you, Merle, I do.
Listen now. Baby. You got to go out there. And you got to tell them that I still don't know you. Go on. Get out. Get out! Get out of here! Look, he broke a law himself, Warden. World's greatest lawyer, Clinton Judd. He slipped me this, Warden.
Yes, I know. I gave him my permission.
You're not gonna let me keep this, are you?
No, if you don't want it, just throw it on the floor. Still in my office.
I don't want to talk to him again.
Kill you! Kill him! What are you doing?
Stop it.
His fault! Trying to cut him wrong the whole thing!
Luann, stop it!
Luann. Come here. In view of the fact that Merle Brownie has confessed to the assault at Armand's jewelry shop, and this court believes him, I'm invalidating your conviction and ordering another trial. I just asked the district attorney if he would go along on a lesser charge as proposed by Mr. Judd, and he agreed. The charge is now accomplice to burglary. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Guilty. All right. This being your first charge, I sentence you to the length of time you have already served.
Can I get to see Merle once before he has to die?
I'm afraid not.
Luann. You'll have to spend another night or two in custody, but as soon as the papers have cleared, you can walk out of that prison. With your baby, Luann.
I sure do thank you. And Mr. Judd, I I didn't mean what I said to you before. It's not your fault what's happening to Merle. It's my fault. Merle, he might be all right if it wasn't for me and the baby.
Luann, I think that without you, Merle wouldn't be as much as he is right now.
No, sir. It's my fault. The baby's.
It's everybody's fault but Merle's.
No. It's everybody's fault. Including Merle's. Including mine. Would any of this be happening to Merle Varney if I had your means to fly around the country looking for evidence? If I had your prestige? I'll be honest about it, if I had your talent. Is it right for a man to die because he's got the wrong lawyer? Forgive me, Mr. Judd, I'm a pretty good loser when it comes to gin rummy, but not at this game.
Mr. Cleary, could be an outside chance you haven't lost it yet.
Oh, come on, Mr. Judd, what are you talking about?
You've been telling the governor that Varney's a changed man. Well, you were wrong. As of the last 2 years, he was a hoodlum and a thief. But 20 minutes ago, something started happening. Let's say he wasn't fit to live. Let's say he never did a decent thing until tonight. But what Merle Varney did tonight was as fine a thing as any man could do with his life, and that's to lay it on the line for somebody else. In other words, this thief, this hoodlum, is only now discovering what life is all about, and for that, does he deserve to have life taken away?
Mr. Judd, you're talking about clemency and commutation of sentence. That's the province of the governor, certainly not mine. I don't know what you expect of me.
You won your case, Mr. Judd. What's bothering you now? Your conscience?
Judge Montez, for the warden's benefit, will you please repeat the words a judge uses in this state to sentence a man to death?
You are remanded to the custody of the warden of state prison. There, on a date set by him, to be executed in the manner prescribed by...
You set the execution date. Now, in view of what you've seen here tonight, can't you reset it to give us another day or two?
What do you mean by give us?
I'd like to be associated with you in presenting this case to the governor.
Mr. Judd, I don't know whether I can or not. So help me God, I will.